Hello, my name is Kiriath, and today we're going to talk about easy to build models in Warhammer 40,000. There's a good reason for this. A few days ago, it might have been close to a week ago, I'm not entirely sure, someone posted an image of some new easy to build kits that are coming for Warhammer 40k. And there was an interesting reaction to this. I've seen quite a few different reactions, but one of them I thought we'd have a little talk about because it's I'm not going to say it's something that I don't understand, because that's not true. I do understand why people would think this way, but I think there's arguments to be made that could maybe, if not sway, then at least bring a level of understanding that seems to currently be lacking for some people and for some attitudes towards stuff like this. So there's a link in the description. If you want to sit there and stare at this stuff, then you can. Alternatively, it should be on the screen right about now. And as you can see, we are getting easy to build Primaris aggressors. We are getting easy to build a Lord Felthius. It's hard to read because of the glare. And Tainted Cohort, which, to be honest, looks like Death Guard Terminators of some description. I think that's Death Shroud in the front, but it might be normal Terminators in the back. Sorry, Blight Lord Terminators in the back, not normal. There's an easy-to-build Primaris Redemptive Dreadnought, and easy-build Myphitic Blight Haulers. Now, that's particularly interesting because they're in the Codex, and we haven't seen them yet. There's just been no mention of the Myphitic Blight Hauler. It's not been on the Games Workshop site. We've not seen any actual ones in the wild anywhere. And so you could be thinking to yourself, why is this why it's taken so long? Is this why it's taken as long as it has for the Blight Hauler to come out? Like, is it some sort of easy build only thing and they wanted to launch them all together? Now, honestly, I've seen various things floating around about the Blight Hauler, which kind of suggests that the machines that were being used to produce them had some sort of breakdown, or there was some sort of issue with the casting process or something like that, and that is why they haven't been released yet. Obviously, that's just speculation and random snippets that I've read, but I kind of doubt that, along with the big push for Nurgle and the all the Death Guard stuff, it seems very unlikely to me that they would hold back something that they talked about, something that was in the Codex, something that they advertised, and only for the reason that they wanted to come out with other easy build stuff. So we've got like a nice variation, like a nice amount of variation there in terms of easy build models, and you could very well sit there and say, this is garbage, like this sucks, we don't need this, what is the point of this? If someone wants to play the hobby, if they want to get in there, if they want to actually collect models, they should be gluing them up properly, they should be assembling them properly. This takes away stuff like customization. I mean, it's really difficult to actually convert and customize easy build models. It's not great. I mean, even when it comes to Primaris characters, like this here chap, the Primaris Chaplain, I'd love to try and do something with this guy, I really would, but the way this model is constructed, the way that the different parts are put together, it's not a simple task. It's a very strange model to put together, I seem to remember. I did this a little while ago, but it has an interesting way of coming together. And of course, easy build models, the whole point is that you just snap them together. You don't even need any glue. That's one of the draws of it. And there's so many people that I've seen kind of go, I don't understand why we need this. Well, to be honest, I actually have a bit of a criticism, which is going to sound bizarre in a way, because it might be the opposite of what you might expect me to say in terms of criticising this kind of thing. I don't think the Dark Imperium set actually went far enough to be accessible. Now, I can already hear the furious slamming of keyboards and the the shouting of rage. What the hell am I talking about? How can I say it wasn't accessible? It's difficult to customize the models. Everything goes together the same way. The poses are all the same. How is that difficult? I get you, okay? I get you. I understand. I'm with you. In some respects, I'm with you. As someone who's been into this hobby for years, Snapfit, easy build, they can get out, okay? There's the door. Feel free, just leave. I'm not interested in you. I don't care. I'm not bothered. I would much rather have a finicky, fiddly, annoying model to put together that I can customise. That I can choose the pose, I can choose the weapons, I can choose what goes where. I would much rather have that. But I've been in this for years and years. Like, my army is entirely kit bashed. There is not a single model. I mean, even the Land Raider's got extra stuff stuck all over it. There's not a single model in my Terminator Force, my Terminator Strike Force, that isn't made up of at least 2 kits, if not 3. That's the sort of person I am when it comes to modelling. Firstly, not everyone's like that. Not everyone can be bothered with that. Not everyone wants to do that kind of extensive customization. Not everyone wants to make a Space Marine force out of every bit they have lying around. Some people just want the box, they just want to stick them together, put a nice paint job on them, and that's it, they're done. And that's absolutely fine. Some people don't even want to do that. Now, this is where we get to a weird crossover between the sort of video gaming community and the wargaming community, because there is a kind of prevalent attitude among both, which is, dare I say, kind of elitist, where it's like, well, I had to do this, or I think you should have to mess about with these models to be able to play. I think this is what you should have to do. If you want to enjoy the game, you've got to put the effort in. I would suggest that actually, no, that's not the case. There is plenty of space in Warhammer 40k for literally everyone. If people want to do what I did with my Terminator Strike Force, and they want to take Dark Angel kits, Space Wolf kits, and vanilla Space Marine kits, and third-party pieces, and just go mental kit bashing them all together, they absolutely should be able to do that. That should not be something that is difficult to do. It should be easy to do. Stuff should be made where it is possible to customise your armies with little effort. And if you want to put in extra effort and go green stuff mental, you know, hats off to you, go for it. There should also be a middle ground, where if you just want to buy a box of Space Marines, you just want to buy a box of Guardians, you just want to buy a box of Gene Stealers, you just buy the box, you stick the bits together, and you're good to go. On top of that, you need stuff like this. You need the Snapfit stuff. You need the easy to build stuff. Because much though it's very easy to live in that little bubble of, I am this age, the people I know who play 40k are within, 10, 15 years either way of this age, therefore these are the only people who play. That's not how it really works. You need to get a constant influx of new people in for products to support themselves, for Games Workshop to support itself. Now, if you want to get your kid into Warhammer 40,000, and hopefully, however many years' time, I mean, she's not even 2 yet, so I'm going to have to wait a while, you will, or I will, in my case, I'm not going to sit her down with multiple parts from multiple kits and go, there you go, you're 10, knock yourself out, because she's not going to know what the flying hell she's supposed to do. She's just going to look at that and just go, On the other hand, if I can give her something chunky, something big, like, for instance, a Primaris Redemptor Dreadnought, and go, there you go, squish that bit together, squish those bits on the side, you've got a model, do you want to go and paint it? I get the feeling she's going to prefer that option over the first one. You know what I mean? And it's the same for all of this stuff. The best way to increase player base, the best way to get more people in for something like this, for Warhammer 40k, is to get people playing the way they want to play, and get people modelling the way they want to model. Like, there are people who don't care about putting the models together, they want to paint them. And that's fine, because that is an option. There are people who just want a model and they don't want to paint. And that's fine, because you can get away with 3 colours on an army if you really want to, and you've got a tabletop ready force. Provided you don't just colour them in with marker or something. But then you also get people who just want to play the game. They don't care about the painting, they don't care about the modelling. They're there for the game itself, for the strategy, for the tactics. Now if you show someone an option where they literally just open up the box, cut the stuff off the sprues, slap it together, and there you go, it's done, there is going to be a surprising number of people who will go for that option. And the thing is, this is where I think it kind of becomes important to try and make that distinction. If these Snapfit easy build things were the only options available for these models, I would have a problem with it. Like, I would have a definite problem with it. I'd be like, this is just crap, because you're taking away an option from a certain side of your user base, which is not clever. You don't want to do that. You don't want to reduce options for people who are already invested. You want to give them more options. But they're not. Provided we get blight haulers that are not Snapfit, it's great that we have Snapfit easy build blight haulers. Provided they don't take away the current kit for the Redemptor Dreadnought, where you can fiddle with it to your heart's delight, great. We can have a Snapfit easy build, whatever you want to call it, Redemptor Dreadnought. The customization is there for those who want it. You know, the messing about with poses is there for those who want it. But for the people who just want to open the box and get playing within 2 days, I fail to see the issue. I just fail to see the issue. No one is forcing you to buy this stuff. This is the thing. Admittedly, in the case of the Nurgle stuff, in the case of the Death Guard stuff, it's a little more complicated than that. The sheer detail of the models means that the amount of variation that you can put on them is sadly reduced by quite a bit. And I'm not a fan of that, to be honest. I would much prefer more customizable models. But at the same time, there's so much detail rammed onto them that actually making every single bit fit with every other single other bit would be really difficult. Is there a middle ground between the two? Quite possibly. But for my money, for the way I play the game, and for the way I want other people to get into this game, this is a gateway. The Snapfit stuff, the easy build stuff, this is a gateway into 40k. You start off with your monopose models. You start off with your aggressors that all look the same. You start off with your Primaris Redemptor Dreadnought that has a static garbage pose. You put it together, you're happy. You're like, oh, I like that. But then you see someone else's and you go, oh, those look really dynamic. That looks a bit better. Maybe I should try the other kit. Then they go and try the other kit. And then they put it together. And guess what? You've got another person who is now into putting the models together, who is not intimidated by the fact that they have to assemble them, because instead they've been inspired by the fact that to start with, they could just stick them and off they go. This stuff, I don't think, is ever something to really, really complain about. In the grand scheme of things, in all the problems that 40k has, and all the problems that Games Workshop cause for themselves, this stuff, it should just go under the radar. Because it serves a very distinct purpose, which is to get new people in. It serves those people who don't want to mess about with crafting a unique army. And at the end of the day, anything that gets more people into this hobby is not a bad thing, in my opinion. You know, this is something that benefits from having more people playing it, more people talking about it. The more people sort of enter into this hobby, the better stuff we get as a result. So, Snapfit easy build stuff, they should knock themselves out. There should be full-on starter sets of complete armies of the Dark Imperium size of Snapfit stuff, in my opinion. It'll get people in, and then eventually you've got a full-blown wargamer on your hands, which is exactly what you want. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Do you like this stuff? Do you not like it? Do you think it is a good gateway? Do you think it does serve the purpose of allowing people who are not into the modelling side of things to just get straight into the game? I'll be interested to hear what you think, as always, because I do read the comments, as you know, because quite often I respond to you in them. And, yeah, let me know what you think. There's a plane going overhead. What the heck? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, then like it, obviously. There's the usual array of nonsense to click. Other videos, Patreon, subscribe, all of that stuff. You can click it if you want to. You don't have to click it if you don't want to. It's entirely up to you. In the meantime, again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Toodaloo.